Hello everybody, it's me Beata. Thanks for tuning in because today we have very special topic. I'm gonna be answering all your questions about Lilith in Natal Chart or in Synastry. So first of all, I would like to open the chat even though I already have really able to cover everything what you need to know when it comes to Lilith. Okay, so please wait. So really, if you have any questions, additional questions, because as I have told you, I already have a lot of questions, but you can indeed ask me live right now, because that is obviously the reason why I am live. Because you know what, I have noticed that this whole Lilith thing, I call it thing, is very not only popular, but people really want to know about the Lilith, right? But problem with Lilith is that there's a lot of, let's say, confusion, because typically we don't know about what type of Lilith we are talking about, because there's actually few Lilith. And another problem is that there is not a lot of information about Lilith, right? So that is the reason I have decided to really make this live and answer all your questions once for all. And you know, if you still will be interested, I can definitely make more lives. There is really no problem about it. So let's start. Hello, we have already one question in chat. I will definitely come to that. Okay, so I actually had to rewrite your questions, so but I have them all. So first question, Natalie asks, Venus conjunct Lilith in the natal chart. Natalie obviously has displacement, and you know, I have to tell you, first we really have to search Lilith in the natal chart, okay? Because Lilith, or how much you are Lilith or Lilith thinks about you, it will all depend on how strong is Lilith in your natal chart. And as for a woman, when I see that a woman has Venus conjunct Lilith in natal chart, I can tell you that this is someone, as a woman, who is able to use her charm to get what she wants, okay? Conjunction, as she has conjunction, is the strongest aspect. That means that, we really have to think about Lilith as someone who is our dark side. I responsible for prostitution, all taboos, sex things. And if someone has like Venus conjunct Lilith, this woman knows very well how to manipulate men in order to get what she wants, okay? Now, of course, she may not be even aware about this power, or, you know, I don't know if she even uses that, but this is actually her shadow side, and she might be very successful in this, but of course, it all depends on the person if she starts using that. There's conjunction between Venus and Lilith, and conjunction is always considered to be hard aspect. Now, another question, Mood Hero asks, how about Venus sextile Lilith? What does that mean? Synastry question, and you know, Venus sextile Lilith in a synastry is a good one. Okay, Venus person will feel the effect more or I would even say the most. Lilith person is in the role of provider of that energy, but Venus person will be definitely hooked on a Lilith person, and you know, as this is easy aspect, this typically this aspect, this one can be found in long-lasting commitments or marriages, because you know, even though they are still, you know, slightly challenging, they still are, because Lilith is naturally malefic, and trust me on this, don't expect, you know, bed and roses from Lilith, because Lilith is obsessive, you know, that sex addict, and when we have this combination Venus sextile Lilith, Venus is really experiencing all this energy, okay? So Venus can madly fall in love with Lilith person, but this is handleable, okay? So don't worry about it. Now, we have another question from Dusika Radenkovic asks, what about Lilith square Lilith exact orb in synastry, I assume? You know, this is actually a common question. I had no idea that you want to know more about Lilith square Lilith, and of course this can happen quite often in synastry, that there is Lilith conjunct Lilith or Lilith square Lilith. Now, when I see Lilith square Lilith, I immediately go back to birth charts of both people, and I am obviously trying to find out where is Lilith placed in natal chart, okay? Because this will tell us a lot. Placement of the Lilith, like, you know, I would give you one example, like first person has Lilith in the second house, and I don't know, second person has a Lilith in the fourth house, Natalie, in natal chart, and what this will create is obviously tension, but this is something that can be even tragic or at least very dramatic. And from my example, someone has Lilith in second and someone has Lilith in fourth house in their birth chart, and they create square. This will mean like person who has Lilith in fourth house will not be supported by person who has Lilith in the second house financially, and there can be, you know, really a lot of difficult stuff going on when it comes to Lilith fourth house, which is really family house, and there's a lot of tension and really not only competing or power struggles, but this is something which can be very unhealthy and damaging when we combine his second house money and her family, okay? So this is gonna be the big tool, like everybody, but check their birth houses, okay? Because these are very important, because this is where is Lilith, this is where is energy, and this is where is gonna be trouble. I wish I could tell you that things can go very well even if you have Lilith square Lilith. You can obviously live in this type of relationship, but you really have to be aware that there will be this theme which is very painful for both of you, okay? Because people who have in a relationship Lilith square Lilith, they are obviously together for a reason, but you know, Lilith is very it is really difficult to handle Lilith, right? And I actually don't know anyone who handled hard aspects of Lilith in healthy way. But I don't wanna say that it is not possible, but you know, it requires a lot of maturity and really like awareness, and yeah, because Lilith exaggerates everything, and you know, if someone triggers your Lilith in synastry, you are surprised about you know what you can do, right? So this is how Lilith actually operates. Now we have a question. Okay, hopefully everything is working. Uh, we have a question. From live chat. Okay, I will come to that later because now I have lost it, sorry. Okay, another question. What about when women's Mars aspects men's Lilith? Okay, now in this question, someone asks, what if roles are reversed? Okay, because you know we typically think that Mars is that masculine man's planet, right? And it is really man who represents Mars anyhow. But if we have it, you know, it plays out pretty much the same way as it was men's Mars. It doesn't matter. But first, I would definitely check how strong is woman's Mars in her natal chart, and then I would be, you know, much more, let's say, educated and could give you a proper answer. But overall, this of course creates a lot of, you know, sexual tension and sexual longing on Mars side. Because if you are a woman or man, Mars really represents that sex drive. It's really Mars, okay? What we search if we want to assess if, you know, someone is sexually hooked on us. So this is great, of course, for sex. For long-term commitments, it indeed depends if it is easy or hard aspect. Okay guys, my live chat is back, so I'm gonna be answering those first. What does Lilith conjunct Jupiter in Synastry do? You know, it can do a couple of things, but my problem is that I don't consider other planets to be as important as personal planets when it comes to in contact to Lilith. Okay, and if person who is Jupiter has like Jupiter rising, then this can play out and the Jupiter person will really feel the effect. But I don't know, if you have like some average Jupiter in your chart like I do, and I would be Jupiter and my Jupiter would conjunct someone's Lilith, I doubt that I would feel like effect, you know. As it is conjunction, then what can sometimes actually happen is that Jupiter person tricked by Lilith and believe or start to believe in things he would not believe otherwise. Okay, because you know Jupiter is still our knowledge and beliefs, but it obviously depends on where is your Jupiter. But you know, it can be tricky as well, but it may not be obviously that damaging as with some personal planets involved with Lilith. Okay, so another question. Hi everybody, how can we attract through soulmate? That is the question, right? Well, you know, they say, and if you are interested in these things, they always say that you really have to vibrate on that level to really attract your soulmate, right? So really, first thing would be probably to get rid of your baggage, because we all carry everything with us from our previous relationships and lives. but you know, they really say that this happens when you are ready and when you are aligned. Okay, so you know, if you feel very good with your life and you feel like overall satisfaction with all what you have, and you know how you are, and you really have no problems with codependency, that is when it happens, right? So it's like magic, isn't it? Okay, another question. Hi, I would like to know what it means when the man, Sun, and Mercury conjunct woman Lilith in the 8th house. Okay, so we have actually a few questions in this one. So, when the man, Sun, and Mercury conjunct woman Lilith in the 8th house. So, first of all, this man this man is definitely obsessed by this woman. Furthermore, if she has like Lilith in her 8th house, okay, this is just fantastic. And even though not for him as much, but this woman uh, is definitely perceived to be very powerful, okay, and this in this case over that man. So sometimes this man can feel like you know, she put like a spell on him or something, but in a good way. But you know, this type of relationship brings a lot of like dependency on the male side in this case, and you know, he will be very much influenced by whole presence, but sex is a big theme and a big one and number one. So you know, there's a lot of attraction on the men's side. It can actually go, you know, like vice versa, but as I have told you, Lilith doesn't feel the effect that much, you know. Lilith is much more of a provider of what is going on, but definitely this man feels like this woman is not just mysterious, but she really, you know, holds all the power, okay? And now it all depends on who that woman is, because actually this man can end up very badly and make some poor choices because of her, okay? Now, and second part of the question, when the man Lilith in the 11th conjunct woman Saturn in the 10th house, thank you. So then with all these Saturn thing and Lilith, you know, they are really not good pairing and they don't go well together. I believe that they really don't go like anyhow together. So she really feels she might be actually even repel. Okay, she may feel repelled from him, and I doubt that this creates anything but burden to her. Okay, so I don't know, I don't like it. Okay. Now another question. Thank you for your availability and powerful insight. You're welcome. I particularly enjoy your insightful videos about Scorpio. I'm curious about my natal chart. You know, yes, I continue my Scorpio videos because they are actually the most popular on my channel. So I absolutely am planning new series about Scorpio, and you know, I will give away a lot of stuff about Scorpio this year. So the rest of the question. I have Lilith in Scorpio in the 11th house, so no wonder you like Scorpio videos, right? I already have Moon in the 8th house, Pluto in Scorpio, and square Sun Moon, also sextile Venus and trine Chiron. Oh my god, there's a lot of going on in your natal chart. It actually continues. Oops, sorry. uh, my Lilith is square Node, square Sun, square Moon, sextile Mars, sextile Uranus, sextile Neptune, trine Chiron. You know, don't forget about those sextiles and trines from your Lilith to that outer planets. They are not that important, but I tell you that, well, your soul has really chosen this very intense life path. Your chart really looks very interesting. Just from you have wrote me, and you are definitely very scorpionic, but I'm pretty sure that you already know that. You know, okay, I don't want to go into the birth chart here, but it's great because it definitely gives me more context, and you continues. Also curious about synastry. My Lilith is in his sixth house. Okay. So you already made him to serve you, right? Because this is what Lilith in someone's sixth house does. And don't forget that your Lilith is very powerful, and on the top of it, you are very Plutonic yourself. So, wow. His Lilith is in my third house. His Lilith is in Pisces, as is his Sun and Venus. His Moon and Mars are in Scorpio. That is really good that he has some planets in Scorpio, but because you would not be interested in him, right? Because I'm sure that you are aware of it, but you really need someone who is really intense or very passionate person, and who can really live to the fullest, and you know, really understands life, right? Because this is who you are, but you would not be interested in someone, let's say, more how to put it, more who is not as complicated or as deep, right? Because it's Scorpio. Well, my Lilith, this is still the same girl talking. My Lilith in Scorpio conjunct his Moon in Scorpio, trine his Venus, sextile his Jupiter, okay, conjunct his Saturn, trine his Lilith. Wow, and his Lilith sextile my Neptune, trine my Chiron. Well, first of all, and I had a sense that it will go this way, you are the one who is boss of this relationship, because I'm pretty sure that your chart is, let's say, stronger. And this is where I obviously start, because I really have to see your birth chart and his birth chart, and who's in practice typically means who has like more tension in horoscope, because you would be surprised, but people who have more squares or oppositions, they are really the strongest ones, okay, because they are able to really handle a lot. So your chart is stronger, and and you know, I'm wondering if you are attracted to him. This is probably my main question, because I have no doubts that he is very much attracted to you, but you are the person who will define your relationship, and as everything with Lilith and all your contacts, what you have wrote me, I can tell you that there can be a lot of obsession on his side. This can actually goes, you know, vice versa, but I don't know your synastry like a whole, but you know, these Lilith contacts in synastry, and you have really like couple of your Lilith and his personal planets. What this does to man is that he really like cannot stop thinking about you, you know, and you really are or you really become very important to him, and it's really your Lilith, which is conjuncting his moon. Okay, so this aspect is the strongest. So there's a lot of, on his part, there's a lot of like a lot of emotional manipulation from your side to him. Okay, this can be unconscious or so, but this is the person who is definitely, I don't want to use term like in love with you, because we are really talking about Lilith, and Lilith is anything but love. But just to pick up these Lilith contacts, this person can be addicted to you, can definitely do whatever you want him to do, right? Because you are Lilith, but it doesn't go both ways, because his Lilith is only in mild aspects to your Neptune and Chiron, and this is really not important in this case. Okay, so I'm not sure what was the question, but I sort of try to answer those Lilith part. Okay, someone says, because we can see everyone date of birth and then no one know true time of birth, so it's not a particle. You are really right, because really exact birth time is a big one every time. Every time I read charts like birth chart or synastry chart, it is very important to really collect exact data, but maybe you would be surprised, but I am able to tell a lot when I do relationship reading, relationship horoscope. I can still tell a lot, okay? Because at least if I have one's partner data and birth time, and from that for that second partner we only know his date, but we really don't know birth time, I can still tell a lot, and I can still tell how this second person will affect first person, and this is what typically people ask, right? So I still do synastry readings, even with knowing one birth time only for one partner. Okay, so you're so on point. It's that girl I've been talking about. Thank you. Looking forward for more videos from you. Okay, so yes, you're very welcome. I'm glad if I was on point. So now we can continue. Another question was, is the description for Mars / Lilith hard aspect the same as found in composite chart? It is actually not. I don't know why people try to really combine synastry and composite and really read it very same way, because it is really not accurate. And if you are interested, I have my advanced synastry and composite course, and I really talk about those things of composite and how to read composite and composite houses. In that course, you can check it out on my website horoscopesandreadings.com, and really just read about the course, what it consists of, because I know that there is not a lot of info about composite online or about Lilith, right? Because when you attend some astrology course, you always start with the birth chart, and then transit, and then at times when you come to the synastry, you are like this, and you just had enough, and and that's why astrologers typically don't offer like composite courses or don't talk about Lilith, because it is just too much depth, and people typically like to ask just birth chart questions, or questions that are not so complicated. Okay, Valerie asks, which Lilith asteroid number you use? I'm sorry, if possible, please clarify this question to comments, because I am really not sure about which number I use, but I assume, because I did my research on the numbers, that you really want me to put out like a number which can be found on astro.com, and you can, like, you know, enroll and find your Lilith, and there is that number. But I have my, you know, professional astrological program, so I really don't have any numbers there. But you know, the thing is, and there was actually question about this. Oh my god, we will not be able to cover everything, but you know, there are actually three Liliths, okay? Because there is indeed a lot of misconception about Lilith or which Lilith I use. This was frequently asked questions, and I have to tell you that there are three Liliths, right? There is asteroid Lilith, there is black moon Lilith, and there is dark moon Lilith. I actually use black moon Lilith. And somewhere there was another question if I use mean or true Lilith, okay? I use true Lilith, okay? So probably once and for all I have clarified this, because you know, I have best experiences with Lilith, and you know, I really incorporate Lilith into each reading because I immediately know what's going on and who will suffer eventually, because with Lilith, you know, it's painful experience, right? We might love it at the beginning because it is very adventurous, passionate, and so on, but at the end there's typically one person who suffers. Okay guys, another question from live chat. Hey, what if a woman has her Mars conjunct her Lilith and squaring Neptune and Venus? Thank you. Sounds like a disaster. You know, what I know for sure is that we only choose, let's say, aspects or really our birth chart that we can handle. So, you know, Mars conjunct Lilith, well, you are definitely very passionate and very fiery. You can turn this energy into good things because, you know, check where is your Mars and Lilith, and there's a lot of power there in your natal chart. So I don't know if you have it like in career houses or in career house, or you know, work house like 6th or 2nd. That's great for money because you are able to really put a lot of energy into whatever you want, so whichever house is included. But problem with Lilith is that Lilith really doesn't know where to stop, and Lilith is really prone to lies, deceptions. Lilith will really do whatever she wants to achieve what she wants. Okay, so that's why there's a lot of taboo and darkness around Lilith, and for a good reason, because trust me on this, that if you have like hard contacts in your natal chart between Lilith and some planet, you are prone to really be, they really don't care about the way how you do it, you know, because there is that shadow of yours. And of course, once we are aware of our shadows, that is where like awakening happens, and you know, that is where the transformation can start eventually. Okay, I will now continue with these questions, and then I will come back to the chat. Okay. So, another question. Gloria asks, Lilith conjunct Pluto in the first house. Well, this is probably natal chart question, and again, if you are Plutonic, if you are like Scorpio rising, Pluto in first, personal plans to Pluto, you know, somehow, or planets in Scorpio, somehow Pluto is important for you or in your chart, then this is gonna be very important thing. But as well, you know, Pluto in the first itself alone is very interesting, and people very much respect someone who has Pluto in the first, because you have that aura around you, you know, there's something about you, like there is a little bit threatening, because this is the truth. And if you add like Lilith to it, you are indeed still very secretive personality. But on the other hand, that Lilith can sometimes show you her dark side, and I'm pretty sure that you have been through a lot, because this is considered to be difficult thing to live with, but we can indeed outgrow our chart. But you know, you've been through a lot of shit, I'm pretty sure. But you know, sometimes we have to like ask questions like, you know, if I attract those bastards, why is this happening to me, in me, that are similar to those people that are, you know, coming into my life, and that are so even dangerous, and you know, very very ugly, uh, you know, experience, because yeah. Okay, another question. His sun opposite my Lilith, his moon square my Lilith. Oh God, what do I do? You know, if you are Lilith, you can really chill, because what he does, you know, that is the question, because he is very much influenced by you, but unfortunately difficult aspects from his sun and from his moon. So this person can be hooked on you emotionally, that codependency, or you as a Lilith can very well manipulate him to do what you want him to do, you know, even though this can be very like subtle, right? This can be subtle, because you know that Lilith, it's real bitch, so really really she is not too much into your face, but she's able to do whatever she wants to do. Okay, Lilith, square Lilith, I have already answered it, and there was another question about Lilith conjunct Lilith. So it means that you have your Lilith. Okay, so I don't know, if you both have like Lilith in Libra, and this is the conjunction, that this really means that you are really both able to out charm the other, and to really gain advantages from your partner, who would not get otherwise. Okay, so you can really do whatever it takes to get what you want, because you are so charming, so sweet, because Lilith, let's say in Libra, plays this role of someone who is very sweet, can be feminine, you know, can be very open, but on the other hand, she knows exactly what she wants from you. So what this can mean is that there's this can be real like fated connection, right? Because we all sense conjunction. When we have conjunction with someone, we sense that, and there's like that tie, or it can be binding, okay? But really check your birth chart house and his birth chart house, because this is where it all will be happening, this conjunction, okay? Okay, coming back to my live chat, how would you suggest someone to deal with both Pluto and Lilith in the 11th house? Even though I'm Aquarius Sun, I have social anxiety, and I'm wondering what these placements might indicate. This is so interesting, because you know, I heard this like a couple of times, that you know, someone has like Pluto in 11th, and this person really has social anxiety. You know, if you have Pluto there, you are really like loner in a sense, so you might feel lonely even in the crowd, right? Because you really, though there's a lot of like there's a lot of ambition, you really would like to control the masses. And on the top of that, if Lilith is involved, you know, you would not be afraid to really use some practices that are not. But what I see, owner, you really feel like you don't fit in. You know, no one understands you, and yes, you have that anxiety in social crowds. But on the other hand, if you think about it, you really might be someone who feels like I'm gonna get you, or I will win all the power over you, and you know, I will control you, because Pluto in the 11th, especially if Pluto really means something in your chart, can be very powerful, especially as you get older, okay? Um, because only when we are older we are even able to handle these Pluto things, and we are able to handle that energy and work with it. Okay. Now another question. Bella B asks, what's Lilith conjunct Saturn natally like? You know, I have Lilith in Capricorn in my natal chart, so I can tell you. If you have Lilith conjunct Saturn, you know, Saturn always brings like delays, obstacles, repression, right? So you really deny that part of yourself, which is Lilith, which is really dark side, which is your shadow. Okay, so you are really projecting all those bad traits which are connected to your Lilith based on sign of the Lilith and aspects to Lilith to other people, right? Because you are really not like one of them, okay? Also, you really have to see your whole chart. Your sexuality can be blocked. There are definitely sexual blockages, and but you know, this all can be healed. But this Saturn sometimes really works this way. Now, Tandy asks, hi, could you please talk about Lilith conjunct Sun and Jupiter in first house in Cancer? Okay, so if you have this one, Lilith conjunct Sun and Jupiter in first house in Cancer, this time sign is not that important. I have to tell you that you are definitely or this makes you very confident person, but what this also brings is like, you know, that ego boost, right? So you really think that you know what everyone else should do, okay? So it can definitely bring you a lot of respect, but just don't forget that, you know, obviously everyone else has their own ego, their own needs, and you know, their own perception of life, but you are like born boss or a leader. This is what I sense in this combination in the first place. Now about Venus, Mars, Lilith, square Lilith in Synastry. Thanks. I believe that I have already covered a similar question in this live stream, but you know, it will really be that person who is Venus, Mars and Lilith who will feel the effect of this whole interaction. There can be a lot of sexual obsession over the Lilith person, Venus person who can get hurt, who can be heartbroken, but you know, this is different heartbreak than you would imagine. This is like devastation, right? Because Lilith brings devastation. Okay. Okay, guys. Another question, Lilith conjunct Sun in Leo, please. So Lilith in the first house, or really there is that boost of confidence, there's that major confidence. I don't want to tell that there's arrogance, but it's in Leo. So, you know, sometimes Leo people, they already feel very entitled, even though, don't get me wrong, I really like Leo people, but Leo is bossy sign, in my opinion. A lot of bosses have like Leo sun sign and Leo traits. And you know, if you have this one, it all depends on in which house you have it, but you can feel sometimes very entitled, or as a person who really knows what to do, which is completely okay. But again, just don't forget sometimes that really, you know, other people obviously have their own heads and opinions, and you know, sometimes they might be right, okay? Now, Anna asks, could you please talk about Lilith conjunct MC in the natal chart? Love you. Lilith is connected to MC, which is really top of your chart. There will come a day in your life when everyone will see your Lilith, okay? So you have to be very cautious about this, because MC is really that point to which we all want to grow, okay? We all want to become the sign which is on the cusp of the 10th house, or planets in the 10th house. It's very public life, obviously public point in our chart. So just, you know, you can definitely take your career very far, but you have to be cautious with Lilith, because Lilith will cheat and lie to get whatever she wants, okay? But trust me on this, that as high as you can go with Lilith connecting to 10th house, so low you can fall, okay? Because it all will depend on how really, you know, fair you can stay when it comes to career. If you will lie, cheat, you know, deceive people, because there's a lot of temptation to do so, okay? And you know, don't be angry at me, but this is how Lilith operates, and there's conjunction, okay? So it's definitely very powerful. Now, another question, Lady Dodi. I'm curious to know Lilith in easy aspect to the ascendant Natalie. Lilith in Cancer, sextile Taurus ascendant. So, this definitely gives you qualities like being very sexy, very alluring, very mysterious. Actually, this aspect can make you to be very beautiful, and as it is easy aspect, really good for you, because you know, with hard contacts my interpretation would be different, but with easy aspect you can definitely enjoy interest of opposite sex, okay? Because they really find you sexy. So yeah, this is actually a good aspect to have. The remedy asks, hello, can you go over what Lilith woman conjunct North Node man would mean? I haven't been able to figure it out or find any research on it. Thank you. Every time North Node involved, there's karma involved, okay? So there is really no accident that it is really you and him coming together, and North Node, which is him, feels the effect. So you know, it's conjunction, okay? So he finds you very tempting. There's a lot of temptation, and I'm not sure, but you should definitely check his natal chart North Node, okay? If there is connection, and there probably will, between his North Node and his natal chart Lilith, then he might get a sense that he found the one, okay? This is definitely, or might be, a very important, significant relationship, but for him sometimes very heavy, right? Because everything with Lilith gets heavy someday. Now, I would like to come back to chat, to live chat, if we have some questions. So, woman's Lilith conjunct Mars, men's Pluto in Scorpio. Her ninth house and his sixth. You know, I would not probably pick this aspect to be very important in synastry, unless Pluto is very significant in Pluto's person's chart. I would not pay attention to it as much, okay? On the top of that, ninth house and sixth house are not really that important houses for me, at least in a synastry. But at least good news is that whatever it is, it will be handleable for you, because you will have absolutely different or other themes that will be way more important for your relationship, okay? Now, how would you interpret Lilith in the 12th house natally? Good question, and I have actually another one about Lilith in the 12th house, so I will also read this one. Elaine asks, hi, could you talk about natal Lilith in the 12th house, conjunct ascendant in Pisces? I don't really feel like I fit into the bold, sexual Lilith archetype. I also have my moon conjunct another person's Lilith, which also opposite my Mars. Is it a toxic relationship even if I have natal Lilith conjunct ascendant? Okay, so you from live chat, you probably have Lilith conjunct ascendant as well, okay? Because you know, it is not like every time, but quite often, if you have Lilith in the 12th house, especially in the last degrees of 12th house, Lilith also conjuncts ascendant, and it is definitely something we should pay attention to. Now, Lilith in the 12th, she has it in Pisces, but overall, if you have it in 12th house, it has that Pisces qualities, because 12th house is originally ruled by Pisces. So you really don't have to be like that, what's written here, like that bold sexual Lilith thing, because you know, Lilith in Pisces can be actually very spiritual, but problem with Lilith in 12th or Lilith in Pisces is that sometimes that spirituality is very fake. It's not real, you know. There's also connection to other realms or other worlds with this Lilith, but again, be very careful, because 12th house is really unconscious house, okay? So really, if you search like mental health, search 12th house, among other things, but with Lilith, you might feel like you are very spiritually evolved. With Lilith, you may feel like you are channeling things, and you know, very, but these are just masks of Lilith, okay? Even if you try to, you know, like go to deeper things, like go to therapy, regression, or whatever, be very careful, and you are also prone to bad energy, okay? So you should definitely somehow protect yourself even from demons or bad energy, because you know, Lilith is a bad influence herself, and you have it in this vulnerable house. So really, this Lilith really doesn't make you sexual, but can really make you like to be very spiritually superior, okay? But probably aspects to Lilith will decide what is really going on, but be very careful with this, even with foreign lands, with people from foreign lands, okay? Be careful, because these there may not have your best interest in heart. Okay, now another question. Could you clarify if you use mean or true Lilith Yes, this I have already answered. How Lilith works in composite chart, and if in composite one partner takes on the role of Lilith and the other more so the energy of the planet. So a very special chart, even though it's artificial chart, but we really cannot assume that in composite chart one partner takes on a role of Lilith and another partner is more of a planet person. No. Composite chart, and once again I would like to put emphasis on this, is read differently. Okay, we really read composite differently. Composite chart is actually birth chart of your relationship, and every aspect you see in composite grid is really aspects or the role of that aspect. You both play the role. So you are Lilith, you are planet person. He is Lilith, he is planet person. Okay, composite is read differently, and you know, in my readings I always include composite chart when I make relationship horoscope, because composite is very powerful, and yes, Lilith plays significant role in composite chart as well. Absolutely. Okay, another question. Lilith conjunct. So, you know, Lilith conjunct rising, we had a question about sun. I have to tell you that whoever has a significant placement of Lilith, which really ascendant is one of those placements which is considered that you are very much Lilith person, Lilith type, is that, this can make you, you know, a bit bitchy, that you really like to do whatever you want to do, you know, you have that attitude, but you can be, or you are, or this makes you very independent, and this is very powerful, you know. uh, you are very magnetic as a person, there's magnetic personality, and it is immediate, right, because it's your rising. So you can use people, absolutely, with this Lilith, and there's a lot of shadows. It all depends on your on that sign which is included, but yes, probably all I wanted to tell you, because I will sign off actually. I have to go, but very briefly, Lilith conjunct North Node, I already talked about it. You can check it. Lilith 7th house in Synastry as well. Wow. you know, uh, you know what's interesting about Lilith? That you would be surprised at how many, how often people meet someone when their transiting Lilith is entering 7th house. And you, or we might only wonder what this person will be like. Very much Lilith type. So, house person will feel, of course, that Lilith energy, that mysteriousness in the first place, but there's a lot of interest, and if it happens to be in Synastry, then absolutely house person is very sexually drawn to Lilith and to her energy, and this may not be actually damaging or bad placement at all, but there will be some dark themes or dark things that they both will enjoy. Okay guys, so thanks for watching today. Next week, bye bye.